I'll try to just get to the point. So this thought was also telling me that the subconscious tells the outer conscience of a man to find a woman that will not only give him sex but shower him with love and affection so that he will live longer. And the problem with this also is that it's one-sided. The subconscious isn't telling the man to do the same for her. And the subconscious is putting its needs ahead of hers. You may have read somewhere that people who don't have sex don't live as long as people who have sex. But it's not really, it's not necessarily the sex, it's not just the sex, it's more so the companionship. If all you are doing is having sex, then you're not really going to have an edge in how long you live compared to someone who's not having sex. So it's about being loved. It's about getting affection. If you're not getting those things, the body will release certain hormones that will weigh down on itself, potentially causing you to not live as long. This doesn't always happen, though, because there are some people who are absolutely alone and have been that way all the way up to their 90s, but you have other people whom, who don't live that long and were alone for their whole lives. The latter is probably more common, but again, it just connects back to what I said. It's one-sided. It's the subconscious telling the outer conscious what it wants, but at the same time, you still have the urges from the libido, which heavily influences the thinking of the mind when combined with certain activities that you do. I'm not going to mention what those activities are because that's not really the point. That's not really the point of this video. The thing is, a lot of guys are like this with everyone. Even their other male friends, they don't cherish them. They just hang out with them based on how much they can benefit them. it's always about them, and it's never really about you. That's why guys will throw each other under the bus without a care in the world. And if it's like this, even with guys, you know, and they claim to have these epic, quote unquote, bromances with guys that are stronger than any relationship they could have with a woman, and it's not true. They're just deluding themselves. You know, they don't really cherish their male friends like that. They wouldn't even put their male friends over the simplest things. And I'm not asking them to put their male friends over a woman. You know, personally, I don't mind if they put a woman over their male friends, but the treatment that they give to both men and women is just not stable. It's not genuine. It's hazardous even sometimes. This attitude in men and a lot of guys doesn't change just because their lives become miserable. The only thing that happens when their lives become miserable is that they become desperate. And they feel vulnerable enough to seek companionship. But even at the height of their misery, they cannot make it about anything else outside of themselves. Sometimes a bad circumstance changes a guy, though. It's just not as common as you might imagine. This has nothing to do with me gender catering. That's not really what this video was. I've helped both guys and girls before in the past, and I'm just going by what I've been noticing. As for the thought, as titled, it just kind of came. It just zoomed across my conscious. It wasn't even something I was really thinking about. It was just from out of the blue. And I thought it was kind of interesting. That's all I can really remember about it right now. Pretty much what I said is what I can remember from it at the moment. If there's anything else that I'm forgetting, you know, if there's something that resurfaces later, I might come back to this topic and share the rest, I guess.